Hello, beautifuls. Welcome back to my Chanel. And welcome to another episode of America's Next Top Scandal Girls. And today is an extra special episode because today is America's Next Top Model Cycle 2. Where are they now? So I've been planning this video for quite some time and I've really had to exercise my research fingers in order to really find out some of the juicy gossip between what exactly happened on the show and after. So, my lovelies, I actually think that this video might be one of the longest videos on my Chanel if I do not get my ass in gear and hurry up with it. Took 2.5 hours to film. Passion. So I'm going to be going through the contestants in the way that they were eliminated and concentrating mostly on the contestants that I could actually find quite a lot about after the show. The weird thing about America's Next Top Model is that nearly every person that appears on this show has somewhat of a modeling career after the show. For some, it doesn't necessarily lead to like lasting modeling international success, but it is interesting to know that nearly everyone has a little bit of something after the show. It just kind of goes to show you the weight that this show carries in the reality TV world. So let's start with our first evictee, shall we? Anna Bradfield. So Anna Bradfield was the first ever to be eliminated from Cycle 2. She was uncomfortable with posing nude with a naked man in the Adam and Eve photo shoot because she was married. She refused to participate in this, saying that it would be un-Christ-like, and unfortunately, she was our first evicted. So after the show, Anna didn't actually sign with any agency, but she did do a lot of freelance modeling work. She was in Hopelessly Romantic, Runway, and Jezebel magazine, and she took over 300 test shots. She has appeared in adverts for Fever Cosmetics, Goldilocks Hair House, Bashinki Fine Gems and Jewelry, Cadio Interiors, The Salon Collection, and Body Design Personal Training. I must actually say that this website that I'm just about to introduce to you all ANTM.net, is fantastic. The people there, the users of this forum, have managed to scour the entire internet to find post-show content from these contestants. Anna Bradfield has gone on to do some work with Ruffs and Cuffs, which I must actually say, she looks absolutely stunning in these photos. Here we have Anna as a hair model for Salon Next, and there's something about this like futuristic mid-2000s hairdresser adverts that's really nostalgic to me because I used to spend a lot of time in hairdressers as a teenager. It's not as strange as it sounds. But these like sharp lines and highly edited photos were like the ultimate glamour to me as a teenager. She's also worked for brands like My Little Secrets, Air in London, and Forche Boutique. So despite her short run on America's Next Top Model, she did actually have one of the longer careers outside of the show. And looking at Anna's Instagram, you can see as recently as 6 weeks ago, she is working as a dental hygienist. So next up, we have Bethany. Now, Bethany was the second girl eliminated, and if we remember correctly, she was constantly told about her how do I say this? Voluptuous breasts, shall we say.
Good heavens.
Now, if we go onto Bethany's IMDb page, you can actually see here that she was featured in 4 movies. She was in Rocket Man as a dancer. She was in The Nutcracker and the Four Realms as a dancer. She was in Kylie Minogue's Sexercise version 1 as a dancer. And The Best Possible Taste, The Kenny Everett Show. What is this? What is this? Should we have a look at what that is? What is that? I mean, what is this? Oh, the TERFs are going to be so happy with this, aren't they? Lovely.
You want to be on top?
Alongside a flourishing dance career, she's actually been involved in a lot of test shoots for other modeling opportunities. Immediately after her appearance on the show, she was featured in Totally Texas Calendar in February 2004. And one of the last photos she took in her career is this one here by Brian Anderson, and that was in 2014. And we don't see her modeling again after 2014, and there isn't much else about Bethany on the internet. So wherever she is in the world, I hope she is flourishing. I do actually also want to say here that this is just the research that I have done. If you happen to know any little extra bits and tidbits about their stories after the show, feel free to share them in the comments because I am always here lurking and ready to conversate.
Just say talk.
Next, we have Heather Blumberg, who was eliminated 3rd and finally placing 10th. Now, Heather at the time of filming was only 18 years old, and I cannot imagine going on something like this, something that has such huge, far-reaching tendrils in the reality TV sphere at only 18 years old. That is wild to me. Now, Heather's elimination was kind of a little bit of a strange one because it was during the makeup makeover challenge, and they only kind of gave her hair a little bit of like an extra highlight. It wasn't as drastic or as image changing as some of the other contestants. And there was speculation in the comments of when we watched that episode that maybe production already knew that they kind of wanted her to go. So they were like, let's not bother giving her a dramatic makeover now. Don't spend much time on Heather. So after the show, Heather stated that she was looking for acting gigs, but she did not pursue modeling any further. Currently, according to her Instagram, she is working as a nurse and also has a gorgeous little Yorkshire Terrier. Isn't that cute?
No.
Next up, we have Jenascia, who was the 4th contestant eliminated and placed 9th. Now, if you remember, Jenascia was involved in a little bit of a scandal where she overslept during her stay at the Top Model House. Should I say stay? Stay the word? During her time at the Top Model House. And apparently ended up being potentially 3 hours late to the first photo shoot. All because production were like, no, we're not going to step in and wake her up. We're just going to let her oversleep. During her run on the show, Jenascia was constantly criticized, especially by Janice Dickinson, for being too short. She was only 5'7", and I remember Janice being like,
no, she's too short, out, immediately out, no.
I coined it, I own it, bitch.
After the show, Jenascia returned to her job at Hooters and gave birth to her son KJ in 2007. She has taken some further test shots and was in D-List magazine in 2009 and was in the Rich Kids brand spring collection in 2013. And we can see one of those photos here from that collection on all ANTM. So in a strange turn of events, in further TV appearances, in January 2010, she actually appeared as a contestant in an episode of Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune!
Yes! My friend Rolly will be very pleased.
And that's the Darjeeling.
Where she won a total of $50,000. Now, I have tried to scour the archives to find a little clip of Jenascia winning that money on Wheel of Fortune, but unfortunately, I have not been able to find it. The closest I have got to being able to find some actual information about it is on this Angel Fire website, which lists every single contestant that's ever been on Wheel of Fortune US. And here she is, January 14th, 2010, Jenascia versus Lisa versus Ryan. If anyone has any clips, I would love to see that. Fast forward to much more recently, in February of 2021, she did an interview with Oliver Twixt. Now, if you don't know who Oliver Twixt is, Oliver Twixt is the premier post-America's Next Top Model contestant interviewer here on YouTube. His channel here on YouTube consists of interviews with multiple post-contestants from America's Next Top Model, all asking very, very good in-depth questions over interviews that last hours and hours in some cases. Now, Oliver Twixt actually interviewed Jenascia for 2 hours, but I really wanted to put in this little clip here, which explains what actually happened with the oversleeping debacle. If you want to watch the full interview with Oliver Twixt, please click the link in the description box below and give them a follow.
So I was going to ask you about your biggest moment on Top Model, which is you waking up late for the photo shoot.
Did I?
Oh, everyone knows.
Yeah, I remember that. Your face. The night before the big first photo shoot, those motherfuckers took us out to Tavern on the Green and kept us there till, I don't know. I got to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it
I
must
was
have been
not
for drama.
dilly-dallying. I knew what was up. We knew we had to get in the shower in the morning and shave our entire bodies for some reason.
Because
So
photo shoot, naked photo
I was
shoot,
like,
ladies.
and Shandi had an alarm clock at that point. I was like, let me get up before everyone else so I'm not fighting to take a cold shower to shave my pubes. So Shandi set the alarm for 4 a.m. It's going off like crazy.
4 a.m.
In the middle, like I woke up from this, it woke me up from this terrible nightmare. I will never forget it. I was in a vehicle, I think a van, got in this huge car accident. I looked down and there was a shard of glass in my penis. Yeah, I was like, I have a penis. There was a shard of glass in it.
What's
and
happening?
the alarm clock goes off. Yep.
Sorry, did Jenascia just say she dreamt about having a penis on the night before one of the most dramatic moments in America's Next Top Model history? Sure, okay.
So Shandi had the alarm clock. She set it for 4 a.m. for me to get up, wakes me out of this crazy dream. I pop in the shower, shave all my body hair. I got a towel around my hair. And
Wait,
I
so
go
she
lay
was
back
up?
down like, I'm going to wake up in an hour when everyone gets up at 5. Nope. That did not happen. So
she was already awake.
I wake up, I'm super pissed. I'm like, they didn't wake me up on purpose.
What?
You know, I hear the phone ringing. As soon as I get out of bed, there's a dude with a camera in my face, just like, and I just wanted to be like, what the fuck? Why didn't I might have said it, like, what the fuck? Why didn't you wake me up? But he wasn't talking to me because they're not allowed to. So I'm on the phone, like, I don't know what happened. Oliver, I am not a pretty crier. Like, My eyes swell up and get red. My nose swells up and get red. It's just not cute. And I'm all crying, pissed off, like these bitches didn't wake me up on purpose. In April, blah, blah, blah. And then I get to the photo shoot and I find out more that like April did want to go wake me up. But where we were in the loft, the production crew was all downstairs in the basement and we were on like the 3rd or 4th floor or whatever. And she went to get back in the elevator and there were 2 crew members and they're like, no. And she thought like, no, you can't go up. But what they meant, which she found out later because she talked to the crew and she has friends or whatever, where they were saying, no, you can't get in because we're going down to the basement right now. But they can't talk to her because they're not allowed to interact like that. And plus, hello, drama. That was really good for the opening episode of season 2.
Yes, 100%.
She couldn't go up and get me without jeopardizing herself. I wouldn't have done it either. I find that out at the photo shoot. And so afterwards, I'm like, fine, me and April, we're cool, whatever.
So you heard it here, girls. April wanted to try and go back to wake up Jenascia, but unfortunately, production, as they weren't allowed to talk to the contestants, kind of shushed that down, and therefore allowed Jenascia to oversleep for the drama of reality TV. Are we surprised? When we were watching that episode back with my eyes now in when was this? When did I start this? 2022? I think I started the, God, 2022.
Disgusting.
We could kind of see behind the curtain a little bit at how production really would have loved to have spun that as like the most shocking moment of season 2, girls. In episode 1, no doubt. So there we go. There you have it. April went back to wake up Jenascia, but was not allowed by production. Next up, we have Xiomara, which I still to this day believe is such a beautiful, unique name. I absolutely love it. She was the 5th girl eliminated and placed 8th. Now, Xiomara was also involved in the unfortunate skin deepening incident photo shoot in which she had to portray Grace Jones, and the makeup artist deepened her skin tone with the use of makeup. Now, that was quite a controversial photo shoot and still is to this day a controversial decision made by the makeup artists or the stylist or the artistic director, whoever was in charge at that moment. I don't really think it's her fault in any way, shape or form. I feel like there's such a power dynamic and imbalance between production and the contestants that I don't think you could really ever critique a contestant for going along with a photo shoot idea, because this is the big moment. This could potentially be like a career defining adventure going on America's Next Top Model. She was eliminated in episode 5 after doing the worst at the Quench underwater shoot, with Nole Marin saying that she looked like a walrus wearing chiffon. A walrus in chiffon, as if.
Daytime tweet with
a walrus wearing chiffon. Now, on Xiomara's IMDb page, we can actually see that here she was a guest star in the reality TV shows The Real Housewives of Potomac. I have no idea where Potomac is. Potomac? And this was in 2017, so this is actually quite recent. After the show, Xiomara was signed with Boss Models. She was in the New York Post Latino issue in July 2004, as well as TD Ink and Luxeria. And here is a gorgeous shot from that photo shoot for the New York Post Latino issue in July 2004. And can I just say, some of the comments on this website, this all ANTM website, are just so vile. Look at this. Lighter to Darker in 2009 says WTF, drag queen, and Black Lad 11 says Vanessa Williams. The internet was a lawless place before about 2010, I want to say.
Electric chair.
Top model washout is a winner in the real fashion world. But also, what a hateful, like, annotation for that shot. And also, here she is for TD Ink magazine, where she looks absolutely gorgeous, but very much styled of the times. Hello, 2005. Nowadays, she simply goes by Xiaomi, and she's working in aestheticism. I hate that word. Aestheticism is the most difficult word to say ever. Aestheticism. Next up, we have Catie Anderson. Catie was the 6th girl to be eliminated and placed 7th. Catie was known as the crybaby of the cycle. She was the first girl to have a meltdown at the makeovers after having her hair cut into a pixie style. Now, I remember making several comments that she needed it to be less styled and more attitude, but also she was 18 years old, and I think maybe she wanted to go on TV and get a modeling career and hope that it would be something a bit more than just maybe being taken the piss out of for not wanting to cut your hair short. I don't know. After the show, Catie went by the name Caten and signed with New York Model Management, CSD Talent Agency New York, LA Models Runway Division, and JLA Talent Agency, and Spectrum Productions. She had quite an extensive modeling career after the show. She worked for Louis Vuitton in 2004 and the California Market Center's direction in spring 2005. Now, heading over to Catie's IMDb page, you can actually see that she's had several other TV appearances on a show called The Bold and the Beautiful, Eve, and the Tyra Banks Show. Now, I'm not surprised that she's been on the Tyra Banks show because several of the former contestants of America's Next Top Model have been featured on the Tyra Banks show. After her appearance on the show, Catie did actually drastically change her look from the one that we are familiar with seeing on the show, which was the short cropped blonde hair. Here we can see her at an event for Seamless in 2005 with long brown hair, and I actually think that she looks quite different. I think she might have more of an edge with shorter hair. So Catie's catalogue work after the show has actually been quite extensive as well. We can see here that she's had multiple photo shoots. Here is one for Runway Fashion Boutique. I actually love this curly hair on her. I think that is so beautiful. And this look in particular, I really like. There's something about this black and white chic look I absolutely adore, although the makeup artist has done her dirty with matching her skin tone there, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, can I talk today? And she's also done editorial work for brands like Oggy Jeans. Oh my goodness, that's a very sexy photo, isn't it? Oh no. Oh, for goodness sake, really? I suppose that's quite an appropriate jeans advert though, isn't it? Because like, everyone wants a nice bum in jeans, don't they? It's a little bit over the top though, for my opinion. She has since retired from modeling and she married John Palladino and they have 2 kids together. And we can see Catie here on her Instagram. This was posted 178 weeks ago. Why does Instagram do that? That's such a strange way of saying it. And here we can see Catie with their friends and family in September of 2019. Interestingly enough, one of her quotes here is, "This is a once in a lifetime thing. I am not gonna care what they do to my hair." Unfortunately, she did. Next up, we have Sara. She was the 7th girl eliminated and placed 6th. Now, Sara's storyline kind of mostly involved the disagreement with her father and his views on her potential career in modeling, considering it akin to, adult work, shall we say. Oh, a mouse. So she had quite an extensive career after the show in terms of modeling. So here I've got that she worked for L'Oreal, Target, Jordache, Cosmo. She was even in the Sex and the City movie in 2008. She was in Supermodels Unlimited and she was in a New Era commercial and Maxim magazine. In 2020, Sara was photographed by a photographer called Camille Domain for a series of photo shoots exploring the darkness of creativity. I actually really like this like short, wild, curly hair. I think it really suits her. It's gorgeous. Some of these photos are absolutely stunning. Alongside this other work, she's actually been in the music video for Estelle's No Substitute Love in 2008. Sara is now married with a son and she co-founded an activewear company called Athletist. Now, clicking through to this link to try and find this clothing company doesn't actually bring you up anything. The website is dead. But going on to the Wayback Machine, I managed to find this, where we can see Sara modeling her clothing line. Here the website says, with roots in East Harlem, Athletist is an urban legend, an urban athletic apparel designed to keep up and stand out. The collection blends a streetwear vibe with a retro aesthetic using bold colors and high quality fabrics found across t-shirts, bottoms, bras, and tops. Don't say tops.
Talk, Valentina. I lie.
Athletist was founded by Sara Racey-Tabrizi, always a competitor. Whether in sport or on America's Next Top Model, she knew who she was and embraced this by branding herself as an athletist. As of right now, the website for Athletist is no longer available. And recently on Sara's Instagram, she actually posted a video here saying, my very first SAG national commercial many years ago. I had to act like this was a random encounter and give me all the awards.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Have you seen this? This is the best bike we have. Top spec gears, super light frame.
I love it.
Right now, you can have it for free.
Shut up.
Free? Yeah.
Imagine if you could get the best for free.
This is mine.
No.
Shut up.
I can't just give away my best stuff for free.
At H&R Block, we're serious. We believe you.
And unfortunately, I do not know what SAG is. But there we go. That was one of Sara's commercial gigs after the show. Next up, we have Camille McDonald, who was the 8th contestant eliminated and placed 5th. Camille's run on the show was what I would consider production saying, we need a villain. She's going to fit that mold here. She's going to be the villain. After the show, Camille has appeared in numerous Where Are They Now installments of America's Next Top Model, as well as appearances on the Tyra Banks show, the E! True Hollywood Story, the Fierce E! Awards, Modelville, and an episode of Cycle 7. Now, I'd never actually heard of Modelville at this point, and I was like, what is Modelville? What is that?
A single plum floating in perfume served in a man's hat.
Modelville was a spin-off reality TV series from America's Next Top Model, which aired within the Tyra Banks show. It featured 5 former contestants who competed for $50,000 and a spokesperson contract with Carol's daughter. So after her run on Cycle 2, Camille was actually invited back to appear on an All-Stars season of America's Next Top Model, which I have not watched yet, so I don't want any spoilers from that, my lovelies. One of the weirdest things that actually happened during this season was the fact that she had an allergic reaction to something and then was just that was kind of like brushed over and wasn't really addressed, but it did mean that she was at a bit of a disadvantage in one of her photo shoots. Camille also has an extensive body of work outside of America's Next Top Model, including a 15 billboard campaign in Japan. She has been featured on many runways such as BET's Rip the Runway and Elle Girls Presents Dare to Be You. Walmart meets America's Next Top Models in 2005. Apparently also, after Camille's run on the show, she created and curated a line of lingerie for her lingerie brand, Lingerwear, or Lingewear. I'm not sure exactly how to say this. Now, I couldn't find any listings of this anywhere, sadly. Unfortunately, as of right now, it looks like lingerwear.com is not in use. You've reached the soon-to-be new home of lingerwear.com, lastly copyrighted in 2021. Even using the Wayback Machine, it doesn't look like anything was captured for this website, so I don't know if it ever fully launched. Roughly about a year ago, she was also interviewed by Oliver Twixt on Oliver Twixt's YouTube channel, where she actually does mention that she would love to know where the Italian guy is who drove her around Milan and what he is up to now. Now, if you remember, we did actually see some chemistry with her and her Italian moped driver when he was taking her all around Milan to reach her go season, especially when there was that weird like design house that turned into a production plant that just kind of brought out the worst in everyone, it would seem. She said that nothing else happened between her and that hot Italian guy, but she also says in this interview that Italian men do seem to like her. While that is good to know, I'm very excited to watch her at some point in the future when we cover All Stars Season 1, I guess, of America's Next Top Model. Next, we have April. April was the 9th contestant eliminated and placed 4th. I actually think April is one of the most gorgeous people I've ever seen on television ever, but that's just me. So April's elimination from the show was actually particularly emotional, and I kind of found it a little bit difficult to watch because she'd constantly been criticized for not showing enough passion to be a top model, when quite clearly it did mean a lot to her. And can I just say, April's post-show work bank is extensive. After the show, April signed to New York Models Management and then to Race Models and Wilhelmina Models in New York. She has also done multiple television guest interviews and other TV appearances, such as Netflix's Unbreaking Kimmy Schmidt as a guest star, Chasing Taste on Amazon as lead Savannah, Sam, Amazon supporting Stephanie, CBS Golden Boy guest star, USA Royal Pains guest star, NBC's Lipstick Jungle guest star, CBS Guiding Light recurring Mackenzie Matthews, Access Hollywood as a guest interview, Entertainment Tonight as a guest interviewee. I would love to be able to find some clips of these things, but unfortunately these things, as soon as they go live on television, just don't appear to be able to be seen again ever. And she also appeared on an episode of The Maury Povich Show in which she was working towards mental health awareness. Now, April and her co-host Mercedes, who was also in America's Next Top Model Cycle 2, host a show here on YouTube called Throwback Thursday Time, where they interview multiple different guests, some of which have been on America's Next Top Model before, and also some of the judges too, and catalogue some of their life events post the show. Now, they did actually also do a little interview with Shandi, and we'll be watching that in the Shandi section slightly later in the video. Now, if we take a little look at April's Instagram, you will see that she's incredibly active on social media with both raising awareness for mental health, stability, fitness, and if we look at this photo here, she looks absolutely incredible. Also, peep the comment by Nigel Barker. I'll be putting a link to April and Mercedes' show in the comments box below, so make sure you go over and check out their content when you can. Next up, we have Shandi, girls! Now, Shandi's storyline involved one of the most dramatic moments in America's Next Top Model history. It is constantly refeatured on those videos that are like,
Top 10 most shocking moments in America's Next Top Model. Top 10 most shocking reality TV moments ever, girls.
Quite the scandal, actually.
I actually found it incredibly uncomfortable to watch Shandi's phone call to her boyfriend Eric, where she had to tell him that she had cheated on him at a party with an Italian guy. It was a lot, my loves. And you guys also agreed in the comments of the video because it was genuinely quite stressful to watch. Shandi was the 10th girl eliminated in the cycle and placed 3rd. Shandi's storyline was actually a little bit weird, and there's actually been a little bit of like revealing information about her after the show has finished. So in the show, they tried to paint Shandi as someone who just worked at Walgreens, who was just a regular girl who didn't really know much about anything, had no sort of personality, girl, just a regular Walgreens attendant. But here she is, coming on to America's Next Top Model for a shot at fame. Actually, she was working as a nightlife DJ at the time, and I feel like people who generally work in the DJ atmosphere, or DJ adjacent industry, should we say, generally have a bit of like, something about them. They're not quite so squeaky clean, are they? I can't say that. Can I say that?
No.
Shandi was most infamous in the penultimate episode for cheating on her boyfriend Eric with a male model while she was in Italy. So Shandi's post-show career has kind of been a bit up and a bit down and a bit up and a bit down again. A bit of a roller coaster, shall we say. So directly after the show, she was signed to Trump Model Management. Yes, that Trump. She has since left the industry to work as a DJ at a nightclub in Manhattan, and she has appeared many more times on the Tyra Banks show and was nominated for 2 Fiercey Awards but lost. So the Fiercey Awards, I believe, are in cycle 7 of America's Next Top Model. Interestingly enough, in June 2020, Shandi was featured on April and Mercedes' virtual talk show. And you know what? We're gonna watch that video right now, my loves.
I would love to just hear like one favorite memory that you have from filming, or one thing you wish you could tell like the fans about the show that you think maybe they didn't know about you or something.
Come on, Shandi.
Well, the one thing that comes to mind, and it's kind of an odd memory, but it just reiterated to me just how empathetic people can be, was after the phone call, the famous phone call with Eric, and I was uncontrollably crying. One of the sound guys, like the main sound guy, picked me up in his arms and carried me to bed.
Oh my God.
He broke that wall. Because he was, you know, him and another guy had to film the whole phone call.
Wow.
And they felt really bad. And so he took me up, he tucked me in bed, and he had this really lovely conversation with me about like how he'd been through it before and everything's gonna be okay. And it just like, it kind of, every time I think about it, kind of makes me want to cry, because it's just like, he doesn't know me.
We would would you ever have guessed that from the episode? Absolutely not. That specific moment was so difficult to watch that if I was a member of crew on set at that point, I would have had to have broken character somehow and gone and like spoken to her, because you can't just experience that much raw emotion from someone like this far away from you and be like with a camera, can you? Like, no human can do that, surely.
Yes. Doesn't really know me as a person, but he's seeing that somebody is going through something so devastating.
Yes.
That he wants to just, you know, it's going to be okay. And I will always remember that, because I wasn't expecting it.
No.
And I feel like a lot of the girls on the show, and like even Janice, everybody was so kind to one another.
Oh.
Because people ask me that all the time. They go, did you guys, like, who was the shitty person, and who was the mean one, and who didn't you get along with? And when I say I got along with everybody, they think I'm lying. It's like, I'm not. We all genuinely liked one another and liked each other's company and got along really well.
And if you want to watch the full interview they did with Shandi over on their YouTube channel, you can find the link in the description of this video. And if you're all wondering, my loves, Shandi and Eric broke up a year after the show aired. What a wild little segment that was. Early 2000s reality TV was shocking. Currently, according to Shandi's Instagram, she now runs an Etsy store with all handcrafted items such as home goods, clothing, and pet portraits. And interestingly, on her link tree here, we can see there is a spicy content link to OnlyFans. Get that money, sis. Next up, we have Mercedes, the runner-up of America's Next Top Model Cycle 2. Mercedes' storyline on the show was actually kind of an interesting one, because she has lupus, and they tried to kind of show Mercedes' dealing with lupus as like she's gonna do as much as she can to be completely ordinary and at the same level as everyone else, despite having this thing that doesn't allow her to behave the same as everybody else. What was actually kind of shocking about her lupus storyline is that she wasn't the one to tell the other girls that she had lupus. She told Janice in this little mock interview section, which kind of seems like it might have even just been set up to get this secret information out of her. And Janice then went and shared her story to the group without her knowledge, much to everybody else's shock. I think that was a really scummy thing to do by production. I think that if Mercedes wanted to share the fact that she had lupus, she should have been able to do that herself instead of having someone take that opportunity away from her. During the show, she was constantly criticized by the judges that her look was too commercial, girls. And if we remember actually watching the final runway, I actually thought Mercedes was better than Yoanna. I wanted Mercedes to win. I wanted Mercedes to win me.
You're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model.
So Mercedes also has had an extensive modeling career after the show. Mercedes eventually went by Mercedes Yvette, and her agencies included New Model Management, Elite Model Management LA, Click Models, Chic Models, Industry Model Group, Brand Models, and Talent. And she also became a spokesperson for the Lupus Foundation of America, and we can see here a cover of the Lupus Now magazine where she is front and center looking absolutely gorgeous and glowing. Interestingly enough, she's also been on the cover of Arthritis Today, girls. She's had numerous other modeling gigs, including for wedding magazines. Now, wedding magazines do also, weirdly enough, seem to be like a recurring theme throughout the post-career of some of our contestants here. I guess maybe because it's kind of akin to editorial. There just seems to be a lot of wedding-related things.
It's fashion. God, Bob, don't look at me.
She has also landed small roles in a number of TV shows, including One of Us, All of Us, and The Bold and the Beautiful. And actually, on her IMDb page, we can see here that she was also in something called Unemployed in 2008. Mercedes also found quite a lot of success as a catalogue model as well. We can see her here for Kohl's, for shoes. Look at the shoes, $43.99, Skechers, bright eyes. There she is, smiling. As of 2021, Mercedes is still doing test shots for companies and still pursuing modeling as a career. She's even started her own jewelry line here called the Gilded Fox. And if we have a little look over at the Instagram page, is she gonna load? Here she is. It says here that her jewelry line is inspired by travel and the allure of past decades. It's actually got some really bold pieces here available for purchase and some quite lovely arts. Oh, look at that, isn't that beautiful? A jellyfish. In February 2021, her and April were interviewed by Oliver Twixt. She revealed that there was unaired footage of a boxing match between her and Shandi where Shandi defeated her. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? A boxing match. ANTM boxing match. Although they did do some boxercise, didn't they? She also said that her and Janice hung out after the show and she found the blackface photo shoot to be shocking. If you want to see more of Mercedes, you can hop over to her and April's Throwback Thursday Time interview show here on YouTube. The link is in the description box below. And lastly but not leastly, we have the winner of America's Next Top Model Cycle 2, Yoanna. Yoanna's storyline throughout the show was a little bit mixed, I think. Personally, I feel like the animosity between her and Camille was quite production heavy, and I actually found that in the earlier part of the season, I didn't really find myself standing behind Yoanna very much. I think at the time that it aired, everyone would have been on Yoanna's side, but now watching it back with like adult eyes, I don't feel like that's how I would be. Because I wasn't.
Thank you very much. That's much better.
I really found it distasteful, however, that at the go-sees, Yoanna's weight was constantly pulled into question. And also Nole Marin made a comment about her weight and size at the arena photo shoot towards the end of the season. Not for me. Absolutely don't like that storyline. After the show, along with the IMG prize, Yoanna signed with First Opinion Model Management and Wilhelmina Models. Now, there was actually a little bit of drama surrounding Yoanna, at least rumors, shall we say. Maybe not founded drama, but definitely rumors. It's a scandal, girls. So there was whisperings about something called the Sephora Preselect, in which Sephora put forward contestants to apply for America's Next Top Model in the hopes that they would win and that Sephora would then have had a way of picking who was going to be the face of the brand. Although I cannot find any concrete proof or concrete admittance, shall we say, of anyone actually coming forward and saying that this is the case. It just seems to be hearsay at this current time. Yoanna actually had an extensive modeling career after the show finished, and in overseas projects she won a contract with Careline, an Israeli cosmetics company. She also hosted a reality TV competition on the N channel titled Queen Bees, in which 7 mean girls changed their ways in order to win a cash prize. Wouldn't that be excellent if we covered that here on the Chanel, my loves? If anyone ever has access to Queen Bees, send it over and let's watch. So over on allantm.net, you can actually see a huge bunch of her work, both in catalogue and in print. Here we can see Yoanna for Sephora. There's something about these like early mid-2000s photos that are just so heavily edited that I actually quite like in terms of nostalgic value, not for body positivity, because there was no such phrase back then. Pretty boy, suit yourself with a handsome fall look. No. Here she is for Metro Style in spring in 2007. And here is a shot from her overseas project with Careline Cosmetics. Look how photoshopped this picture is. How on earth we ever used to sell cosmetics or get away with using all of these images to sell cosmetics, I just don't know. Kind of reminiscent of Mascara Gate, isn't it? Here she is again with the most gorgeous complexion you've ever seen in your entire computer-enhanced life.
Don't touch me! What?
So Yoanna also has her own channel here on YouTube where she kind of catalogues some of her experiences in the modeling industry and also further explains her current experience with the changing face of the modeling industry. In this video here titled Yoanna, she gives us some small updates about her life and also her weight loss experience with regards to modeling, including some sections about unhealthy habits she had formed with her relationship with food and her body image. And now in this video from 2 years ago, she says that she is in a good place with her body. In 2020, Yoanna also did an interview with Oliver Twixt over on Oliver Twixt's YouTube channel. And I do recommend watching the entire video to get the full tea on what exactly happened with Yoanna on that season. But a few things that I took away from the interview were that she found Camille to be quite ill-mannered because apparently she would like to wear lingerie around the house, and that interrupted filming because they constantly had to stop and say,
Camille, can you put some clothes on? We can't have all that on televisione.
And apparently Yoanna didn't like this and found the constant interrupting to be ill-mannered. Although she did in fact clarify that she loves beautiful, strong women. So, you know. She also interestingly mentions in this interview that America's Next Top Model didn't actually harm her modeling career. We have heard a couple of models come out later saying, being on America's Next Top Model was not actually beneficial for me, and actually I kind of regret being on it. Apparently she expected her career to be slightly different and that her agency told her she should be doing more broadcasting jobs. And she stayed with IMG Model for 8 years after the show aired. And if we hop over to her Instagram, you can see that her bio says here that she is a curvy model, certified on-air QVC and HSN, winner of America's Next Top Model Cycle 2, and also is a luxury styling concierge. I don't know what that means, but this is the most recent picture that she has taken, and I think that is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this. This shot was uploaded in August of 2021, and it is by Malvi magazine. And in 2022, she was a model for celebrity makeup artist Walter Tucci and their latest launches for fall. And as of right now, Yoanna is still actively pursuing modeling. Well, my lovelies, that concludes America's Next Top Model Cycle 2. Where are they now, my loves? This is an interesting reality TV show because I think in a lot of cases we kind of feel like after people appear on reality TV, they sort of fade into obscurity, but it is really nice to see almost every single contestant from this cycle had somewhat of a modeling career after their appearance on the show. America's Next Top Model is such a weird mix of like nostalgia and like shock to me because it actually does remind me of being like a young person who is excited about TV and beauty and makeup and fashion and all those exciting things, but actually watching it now back with adult eyes, kind of problematic in more ways than one. In fact, more than just kind of problematic. Well, my lovelies, with that being said, let me know any of the extra information you may have found out or come across in your little perusings of the internet. Let me know what you think about what we've talked about in today's video in the comments box below. And with that, my loves, it's time to say goodbye to America's Next Top Model Cycle 2. At least for now. And with that, my lovelies, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourselves scrolling past on the screen here, my loves. Yes, you can. Thank you so much for your continued support here on the Chanel, my lovelies. Your support allows me to make content like this because I literally sit here at my desk going, what is that person from 20 years ago up to now? And you know what? You guys are all here for it, and I love that. Today's Twitch shout out goes to Meryl Stream. Thank you so much for following me over on Twitch, you stunning woman on the go. And if you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next video's Twitch shout out, make sure you follow me on Twitch. It is Luxeria Plays, and I stream 2 nights a week, every Monday and every Thursday, my loves. See you over there. I also want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons: Aloria, Orcos Emoji, Beebles32, Shell Herman, Christy Crownover, Christina Kyle, ContraPoints, Danielle, Danny Smith, Dr. A, Elizabeth Stone, Eric Castillo, Jen Martin, Jenabeth Herman, Caitlin Wright, Laura Jane again, Les Banana, Lisa Pennington, Min TM, Mariah Sherman, Nixie Tricks, Paolo Rivera, Ryan Vita, Sexy Texy RN, Slampire Queen, Steffi Tech, Travaful, Tromo, Victoria Corella, and Zoe Sevier. And you know what, my loves? I'm gonna leave it on the notes of, if you want to go on reality TV, make sure you're pretty savvy about what you're getting involved with, because it may not go the way you expect it to. And with that, my loves, I'll see you in the next one.